All right, good afternoon. Thanks for coming. Just some comments about the game on Saturday night at Youngstown. I thought we had, first of all, had a really good week of prep with a lot of energy, a lot of focus, and I thought our guys really came out with a lot of energy and focus in the game, and obviously we're disappointed in the result. We had a number of really good performances and good plays within the game. We moved the ball and scored points offensively, and then defensively we were just too many yards on the ground, and especially the QB scramble runs really hurt us in that game. And yet you look for points in the game that we made some good stops. I thought holding them to a field goal after the punt return and holding them to a field goal late in the game to force overtime, those are things you got to feel good about, because our guys kept fighting, and then we get to overtime and didn't get the result we wanted. But we'll move on, and we got to learn from it just like always, and our response to events is really, really important. And this team has done a good job of responding, and we expect that this week again as we prepare for Indiana State. And some comments on Indiana State. This is a team that's getting better and better each week. I have a lot of respect for Coach Mallory. Their quarterback is their leading rusher. I think Chambers is a big receiver. That's always a concern matchup-wise. A return man and receiver. Rashad Rochelle is a transfer from Rutgers. Shows some explosiveness in the return game and receiving, and then defensively, really impressed with their defense. And we have not seen Olendek, the all-conference returning linebacker, the last couple weeks, so we don't really know his status, but they have other standouts, up front. Shaw and Milford are two guys that are leading them in sacks and tackles for loss, and Brown is a leading tackler, another linebacker that's really talented. And then I think their safeties, those two young men, are up there in their tackle leaders, and they're very aggressive and very good in the open field. So we've got to have a good week of prep to go on the road and earn a positive result.
Having another quarterback that gets involved in the run game, does Indiana State do it completely differently, or are there similarities with Youngstown State?
Well, there's some similar things. I think this quarterback, Owens, is bigger, 6'2", 225, so a bigger guy. Maybe goes downhill a little bit more. But they do have designed Q-run game that we need to prepare for, and he'll take off and run when he's back in the pocket. Their team is pretty balanced. Their football team, it's about 50-50 run to pass, both yardage and attempts. And he's very capable, though. He's very talented. We need to do a good job on him.
As you look back on it, are there just principles you'd like to see differently in the quarterback scramble world, or how do you guys handle that more better?
Well, how we handle it, we try to find answers for our players. That's the way coaches got to handle it. We want to take a look at what happened, how we prepared for the QB run game, and then make adjustments that'll help us. The young man was talented. We got to give him some credit. And he did a good job of making big plays, the QB run game. So you get caught in are you going to call run defenses, or are you going to call pass defenses? Some of those things that you get caught in throughout the game. But we got to do a better job and try to find some real good answers here moving forward.
How about going back to the final play against Youngstown State? There was kind of some people wondering if Liam Beecher is eligible on that play, or was that just a breakdown and he happened to be in the end zone?
No, he wasn't eligible on that play, and that decision going for two is the way the overtime is set up now. If you get the ball second and you score and tie the game, you're going to be right back out there on offense, and then you have to go for two in the second overtime. So, my thinking was, hey, we're going to have to score a 2-point here to win the game. Let's do it now. So that's how the decision was made. And then, the play you're going to run, you make a decision, you go with it. And been asked, would you do it differently? Well, after you know the result of it, sure, you're going to do it differently. Walking across the field, if it works, then it's great. So you just got to make the decision, go with it, and you want it to work. And if it doesn't work, yeah, you're gonna question it yourself and say, hey, maybe we should have done something different. But we got to be able to handle it and move on and move forward.
As a coach, how do you not get frustrated just with the road results when you have another road game this week?
Well, we focus on what we can control, and I would be frustrated if I felt our guys weren't ready to go emotionally and didn't prepare well. I just felt we prepared well, and we had good energy in practice. I thought our warm-up was good. I thought our guys handled the day of prep well, and we gave Youngstown the respect they deserve, that every team deserves. They had lost 4 one-score games the week before. They played a top-ranked team in the country and were leading going into the fourth quarter. So I just thought our guys, prepared well and played with a lot of effort. We just didn't make enough plays when it comes down to it. And then you have to live with the results. So am I frustrated? Well, yeah, you want positive results, but I'm not frustrated to the point. I trust our guys. I love our guys, and we're going to keep working to prepare as well as we can to go on the road and earn a positive result.
You guys are obviously an absolute powerhouse when you guys are playing at home. What's different, or what do you think is different beyond just the travel when you guys hit the road?
Well, it's been some of the results. Now you look, we had, 3 games on the road this year, and you got to put some things in perspective. I believe our first opponent's ranked in the top 10 in the FBS, and our second opponent on the road is ranked number 1 in the FCS. So, perspective is really important, but do we need to go win games on the road to get this program where we want it to be? Sure we do. And we're going to keep working at it. I trust our guys. I trust our staff. We're going to keep working on it to get that positive result.
What do you think it's going to take from you as a coach and even your players to get that first road win?
Well, trust and belief in the guys and good preparation. Our guys, have to know that we trust them and that we believe in them. And, there were, like I said earlier, there were a number of really good performances the other night. I thought Simon played really well. I felt our receivers made a lot of good plays. Our offensive line has been pretty steady, and they had another good night. And even, defensively, it wasn't overall what we're looking for. There were some really good plays. Avery's interception early in the game gave us some momentum. And, so there were a number of good things that happened, just not enough of them to give us that momentum or get up 2 scores when we had an opportunity to do that. We didn't do that, or if we got up 1 score, to stop them after that, to get that opportunity to go up for the 2 scores would have been really important.
You touched on it earlier, Simon's performance. How has he kind of evolved as a player over this season, and how has he been handling the pressure of being the starter?
Well, he's handled everything really well from the start of the season, and what I see is a young man that's improving, and that's called experience. There's no substitute for game experience, and I think he's improved a great deal and keeps improving, and that's because the type of individual he is. He's going to work hard. He's going to, prepare well. He's going to compete. He's very competitive, and that's how you get better.
Have there been any moments or games that you reflect back on where you really saw him improve and grow as a player?
Well, I think there were a number, some of his first touchdown throws, the confidence that you gain from that. I felt like, you go back to 1 week we run a 2-minute drill when the result of the game has been decided, but we felt that was important for our team to run that against other competition, outside competition. You could see growth in those areas, and those are the times that you see it. But we're really pleased with his performance on Saturday night.
Final question, how has his leadership on and off the field impacted the team's overall performance, and how do you see his role kind of evolving moving forward?
Well, his leadership and his performance impact us because, the position he plays, it's really important that that player playing quarterback is competitive. It's important that that player will do little things such as blocking downfield to get our running back in the end zone, and then just coming to practice every day and going about his daily work with a real consistent effort and attitude, and that gains the respect of your teammates. I really believe he does a great job of that.